The next thing we need to go over is grip. Why is grip important? What our hands do. They connect us to the environment and everything we do. Our brain has the most neural real estate, sensory and motor, dedicated to our hands, tongue next, and then but we've got the most real estate to our hands because we've got the most neurons, and this is what we use. We can read braille with these, right? We can feel fine touch, we can feel a hair, we can feel very, very fine things. So we get a lot of information from our hands. And if we have weak hands, we're going to have a weak system. We're not going to have a strong shoulder, okay? Strong hands will give you the potential or the framework for a strong body. And from a rehab standpoint, after shoulder surgery, when we squeeze something in our hand, reflexively, we can fire up that rotator cuff. Okay? So even though we can't move it, we can still train it. Okay? The reflex is called muscular irradiation. The harder you squeeze something, the more tension you create in a muscle, it sends an electrical signal to the one neighboring, it sends another one, and another one. Okay? So you can create more tension through the body by creating harder tension and electrical activity in local muscles. So it starts with the hand, and then wires up to the brain. Everybody, so get your partners, one person on the floor. I'm going to use Mr. Ng here as an example. Okay? So,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Ng is going to just squeeze my hand very loose, crush my hand. Crush it, crush it, crush it, crush it. Okay? Now, I didn't tell him to do anything with his shoulder, I just told him to squeeze my hand hard. He reflexively pat that shoulder and became a nice unit. Now, take a breath of air, sniff. Okay. And by bracing, he's creating more tension through his body. Started with the hand, started into the core, created full body tension, and the whole body comes up as a unit. Okay? So the harder you squeeze something, regardless of whether you think you need to, if you squeeze it a little harder, you can get more power from the body. And power comes from here. This is just an extension. Okay? Everyone felt how the hand is very much integrated with the shoulder and the rest of the body. We'll use, what we do here is we measure, we like to take metrics. We're a physiotherapy clinic, but we're also a sports conditioning, sports performance facility. We like to measure change. So any of our clients coming in, especially when they are training frequently, we will use grip to measure neurological fatigue. Because if our nervous system starts to get tired, we get low force output. And those are the days where I probably don't want them doing something high-skilled, plyometrics, heavy lifts, because their nervous system's already crashed or it's starting to just decrease force output, and then there's greater potential for injury. So we use a hand grip dynamometer, super high tech, okay? And everybody coming in every day, we'll measure blood pressure, heart rate, we'll see how they're feeling, we'll do number scales, visual analog scales based on sleep, durability, stress. And if they've got high stress and they feel like they're low durable and their grip strength is off, guess what? That's not a very heavy day, because I don't want to add more stress to your system and completely tank you or potentially hurt you. But if your grip is good, your mood is good, your energy is good, your sleep is good, great, it's going to be a good training day. If I try and do a training day and we'll see what my grip is, and I know what my baseline is, so 65, and we'll measure it in various positions because it will change based on 68. Okay? So depending on your shoulder position, you can get an idea of where your weak ranges are. I can measure out here, I can measure it here, I can measure it here. It should roughly be about the same everywhere. If I'm 68 here and all of a sudden I'm 50 up here, guess where my weak zone is? Now, it's just because I changed the position of my hand and my shoulder with relation to gravity and what muscles are working. So I'm not connected up here. So I gotta do some overhead work so I can get my grip up. Okay? You can do something very simple. If you've got a pair of grippers that you know you can crush both sides equally, and measure left and right. I don't want more than a 10% difference from left and right. If you're squeezing 68 on the right and 48 on the left, that's a huge difference. That's like the tires on your car are imbalanced, and you're gonna spin out. Because if you're doing any kind of bilateral pressing, bench press, for example, you're gonna press more on that right side and that left side's gonna fall behind. Guess who's gonna start screaming first? This guy, because he's doing all the work, okay? So that's why it's really important that you can use grip to measure fatigue as well as measure imbalances and where you might have weak links in shoulder ranges, okay? So we talked about rope climbing to start developing strength for your muscle up. If you want a little bit more grip work in kind of the overhead position, more of the vertical position, you can use a prowler sled with a larger rope, a battling rope attached to it. And you can do the traditional, you know, bent over, hips are engaged, and pull into here, okay? Make sure hips are really set. Okay? And then you can just push the sled back. Okay. This is a really fun finisher. We can use upper body pulling with bent arms and then a locked out position for core and hip drive, so a static upper body press. The hand over hand grip position, which is a lot more difficult, it's just going to work and practice that ulnar deviation that we're looking for the false grip. So again, you're just going to maintain a nice stable position like you're deadlifting. Overhand grip the rope so the thumb is facing you and pull in. It's a lot harder. And pull it right behind you. Work that full extension of the shoulders that we're looking for, that we're trying to pull into the dip position. And just push it back. Nice alternative, nice finisher. If you want some extra grip or rope work, but the hands are too taxed to actually climb a rope, nice option.